Damn it, when will this all end? I muttered, wiping sweat from my forehead. The thermometer on the veranda showed 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'd been stuck in the dusty attic for 3 hours already. Patrick, are you alive up there? Sofia's voice, my mother-in-law's, came from below. Yes, just sorting through these endless boxes, I shouted back, secretly cursing the moment I agreed to help with the move. Come down for lunch, I ordered Chinese. My stomach treacherously growled. I hadn't eaten since morning. Deciding to sort through one last box, I pulled it toward me. The old cardboard didn't hold up, and the contents spilled onto the floor. Son of a... I stopped mid-word. Among the scattered items lay a leather album. Worn cover, metal corners. The kind they made in the 80s. Curiosity overcame hunger. I opened the first page and froze. In the photograph was a young woman in a swimsuit, posing against an ocean backdrop. Classic American beach. Umbrellas, loungers, palm trees in the distance. But it wasn't the setting that caught my attention. Can't be... I held the photograph closer to the light falling through the attic window. Sofia. Young, incredibly beautiful Sofia in a rather revealing bikini for that time. With trembling fingers, I turned the page. More photographs, artistic, professional. The play of light and shadow emphasized the grace of her figure, and the black and white film gave the images a special sensuality. Patrick, the food will get cold. Coming! I continued frantically flipping through the album. The shots became increasingly bold. In some, Sofia was topless, covered only by her hands or conveniently falling shadows. I had never thought of my mother-in-law in such a way. Sofia had always been the embodiment of strictness and conservatism to me. A typical American lady from the upper middle class. Perfect manners, expensive clothes, charity events on Thursdays. Good Lord, Patrick, what are you stuck on? Steps on the stairs made me jump. The album slipped from my hands, photographs scattered across the dusty floor. I'm sorting, I began, frantically gathering the pictures. Too late. Sofia had already climbed into the attic. An awkward pause fell. I could physically feel myself blushing. Sofia silently looked at the photographs in my hands, and I couldn't read her expression. Those were different times, she finally said. Unfamiliar notes appeared in her voice. You probably think your prim mother-in-law was always so proper? No, not at all. I stumbled like a teenager caught with an adult magazine. Sofia came closer, picked up one of the photos. I was 25 here. Just finished college, dreamed of a modeling career. She sat next to me on the old trunk. She smelled of expensive perfume, a spicy, exciting aroma. Want to hear this story, Patrick? She pronounced my name somehow specially. I felt goosebumps run down my spine. Yes, my voice was treacherously hoarse. Tell me, then let's go downstairs. I'll open some wine and I'll tell you what even your wife doesn't know. Sofia brought out a bottle of California Cabernet and 2 glasses. I noted to myself, too, although on Fridays she usually met with friends at the local country club. You know what's funniest? Sofia elegantly lowered herself into an armchair. I got into the modeling business by chance, worked as a waitress at Malibu Beach Bar, trying to save up for acting classes. She handed me a glass, our fingers momentarily touching. One day a photographer from a local magazine came in, ordered coffee, then another. Sofia smiled at the memories. And a week later I was already posing for his portfolio. How did your parents react? I asked, trying to stay casual. Oh, that's a separate story, she laughed brightly. Mom nearly fainted when she saw the first shots. Proper girls from Connecticut don't behave like that. Sofia stood up, went to the old record player. A minute later, jazz filled the room. Billie Holiday, she explained, noticing my interest. This music was playing during my first serious photo shoot. God, how long ago that was. She took the album again, sat next to me on the couch. Her thighs slightly touched mine. Look, this is Venice Beach. Sofia showed photographs where she posed against the famous boardwalk. And here's the studio in Santa Monica. The photographer spent hours setting up the light. I tried to concentrate on the technical details of the shots, but it was becoming increasingly difficult. Sofia moved closer, explaining some nuances of composition. Her breath tickled my neck. And this series, she faltered. In the photos, she was in a semi-transparent negligee, posing on white sheets. You know, some shots never made it to the magazine. Too revealing. They're very beautiful. I took a big sip of wine. Really? Sofia turned to me. Playful sparkles danced in her eyes. And your wife says I was always boring and conservative. Lisa doesn't know much about you. Neither do you, Patrick. Neither do you. She ran her finger along the rim of her glass. Want to know more? Suddenly my phone rang. Lisa. I looked guiltily at Sofia. Hi, honey. My voice sounded unnaturally cheerful. Yes, helping Mom with things? No, I think another 2 or 3 hours. Of course, I'll buy groceries on the way. Sofia watched me with a slight smirk. When I finished the conversation, she asked, Feeling guilty? Should I? We're just looking at old photographs, she shrugged. Nothing wrong with that. But we both knew that wasn't quite true. A strange tension hung in the air. Tell me about your life, Patrick, Sofia suddenly requested. What did you dream about in your youth? What do you feel now? Why do you want to know? Because in the 5 years you've been married to my daughter, we've never really talked. And I began to tell her. About my college years, my first job at an advertising agency, meeting Lisa. Sofia listened attentively, asking unexpected questions. Gradually, I began to notice how much we had in common. From our love of old jazz to our dislike of modern art. The wine bottle emptied imperceptibly. Outside it was starting to get dark. It's late. I tried to stand, but my head was slightly spinning. Stay, Sofia said quietly. There are still many photographs I want to show you. Have you ever done something you later regretted? Sofia poured more wine. In the half-light her eyes shone with a strange fire. We all make mistakes, I answered evasively, feeling the alcohol loosening my tongue. No, I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm talking about moments when you consciously cross a line, knowing the consequences. The room became stuffy. I loosened my tie. Sofia turned on the air conditioner. The cool air made her shiver, and she draped a silk scarf over her shoulders. You know what's most amusing? She turned a page in the album. These photographs, they're like forbidden fruit. I hid them from everyone. From my husband. From Lisa. But now you're showing them to me, I tried to joke. Why? Sofia looked at me thoughtfully. Maybe because you're the first one who saw in them not just revealing photos, but a story. Feelings? Her hand accidentally touched mine. This time she didn't pull it away. Patrick, are you happy with Lisa? The question caught me off guard. I don't know. Probably. Is there such thing as absolute happiness? You're avoiding the answer. Sofia moved closer. I see how you've been living these past years. Like a robot. Work, home, polite dinner conversations. Have you been watching me? I tried to joke. More than you think. Her voice became husky. Do you know how many times I've caught your glances? Furtively, when you thought no one was looking. I felt my face flush. Sofia, you've misunderstood. No, Patrick. I understood perfectly well. She traced my cheek with her finger. I noticed you too. Your hands, your smile, your scent. We shouldn't, I whispered, but didn't pull away. Shouldn't. Her lips were dangerously close to mine. Sometimes you just need to feel. At that moment the doorbell rang. We sprang apart as if scalded. Damn. Sofia quickly fixed her hair. That must be Martha, my neighbor. She was supposed to bring some house documents. I used the moment to collect myself. What are we doing? She's my wife's mother, damn it. Sofia returned 5 minutes later, indeed with some papers in hand. The moment was hopelessly ruined. It's late, I mumbled, standing up. I should go. Of course. Disappointment was audible in her voice. Just, Patrick? Yes? Tomorrow I'll be alone. Need to sort through the rest of the albums. I silently nodded and practically ran out of the house. The night air sobered me somewhat, but chaos still reigned in my head. On the way home, I nearly missed red lights twice. Before my eyes were the photographs of young Sofia, mixing with the image of today's Sofia. Elegant, mysterious, alluring, Lisa met me with her usual cool smile. "How's Mom? Did you sort through many things?" "Yes, lots," I lied, avoiding her eyes. "Need to work more tomorrow." "Tomorrow? But we have dinner with the Robinsons." Damn, I'd completely forgotten. "Sorry, honey, but your mom really counts on my help. Maybe you could go without me?" Lisa shrugged. "As you wish. Just don't stay late like today." I went up to shower, trying to wash off Sofia's perfume and the feeling of guilt. But under the hot water streams, realization hit me. Tomorrow I would see her again, and we both knew what would happen. I woke up in a cold sweat. All night I dreamed of Sofia. Sometimes young from the photographs, sometimes current, with her mysterious smile and penetrating gaze. "You're acting strange," Lisa noticed at breakfast, "and you didn't relax even after your shower last night." "Just tired." I carefully spread jam on my toast. "Project burning at work. Now your mom's move." Speaking of Mom, Lisa sipped her coffee. "She's been different lately, too. More alive somehow. Maybe this move will be good for her?" "If you only knew," I thought, remembering last evening. I drove up to Sofia's house around noon. My heart was beating like crazy. Maybe just drive away? Claim urgent business? But she had already opened the door. A light summer dress emphasized her figure, hair gathered in a casual bun. "I thought you wouldn't come." Sofia let me into the house. "After yesterday, we need to talk," I began resolutely. "We do," she nodded. "But not here. Let's go to the garden." The backyard was drowning in flowers. Sofia loved gardening, another of her interests I hadn't known about before. "You know what I realized yesterday?" She stopped by a rose bush. "We're both unhappy, Patrick. Just in different ways." "Sofia—" "No, listen," she turned to me. "I lived the right life. Gave up dreams of a modeling career, married a respectable lawyer, had a daughter, did charity work. Everything as it should be. And every day I felt something inside slowly dying." She plucked a rose, winced at the thorn's prick. A drop of blood appeared on her finger. "And you?" Sofia looked at me intently. "Do you really love Lisa? Or are you just going with the flow?" "I don't know," I answered honestly. "I used to know, but now—" She brought her finger to her lips, licked the blood. The gesture was so natural yet incredibly erotic. "Sometimes you just need to feel," she repeated yesterday's words. "Forget about rules, about propriety." I stepped forward. Her eyes widened, breathing quickened. "What about Lisa?" My voice was hoarse. "What about my life?" Sofia whispered. "One more chance to feel alive." The first kiss was cautious, almost chaste. The second, hungry, demanding. Somewhere in the background, a neighbor's car alarm was blaring, but we heard nothing except the beating of our hearts. Sofia pulled me into the house, toward the stairs to the second floor. Her bedroom was bathed in sunlight. On the wall, I noticed one of those photographs, a black and white portrait of a young woman with a mysterious smile. "Like it?" Sofia began unbuttoning her dress. "It's the only shot I always kept in sight, as a reminder of who I was, who I can be." Reality merged with fantasy. The young girl from the photograph and the mature woman before me blended into a single image. Sofia sank onto the bed, pulling me with her. "Last chance to stop," she whispered. Instead of answering, I kissed her. The dress slipped to the floor like a theater curtain, opening a new act in our story. Time stopped. There were only touches, whispers. Sunlight played on skin, turning drops of sweat into diamonds. The sheets smelled of lavender, her favorite scent. Somewhere downstairs the phone rang. Then again. And again. We paid no attention. The whole world could wait. I woke to the sound of rain. Drops drummed on the cornice, creating a peculiar melody. Sofia slept, pressed against my shoulder. In the morning light she seemed amazingly young and vulnerable. The phone showed 14 missed calls from Lisa. A wave of guilt washed over me suffocatingly. Don't. Sofia opened her eyes as if sensing my state. Don't start blaming yourself. How can I not blame myself? I just slept with my wife's mother. And I just slept with my daughter's husband. She sat up in bed, wrapping herself in a sheet. You think it's easy for me? At that moment, the phone rang again. This time my office number showed up. Yes? I tried to speak calmly. Patrick, where the hell are you? My boss's voice sounded worried. The delegation from Chicago is here. Everyone's waiting just for you. Damn, the important meeting I'd completely forgotten about. I'll be right there. I frantically started looking for my clothes. Sofia watched my rushing around with a sad smile. Is this how fairy tales always end, huh? Sofia, No need to say anything. She stood up, putting on a robe. Go. Important matters await you. I had almost reached the car when she called from the doorway. Patrick, you forgot your tie. At the office, I was met with puzzled looks. Wrinkled shirt, different tie, 2 hours late. Car troubles, I mumbled, making my way to my seat. The whole day passed in a fog. I mechanically smiled, signed documents, answered questions. Sofia's face kept appearing before my eyes, her smile. I returned home late. Lisa met me with cold silence. Where were you? She finally asked. At work, important meeting with Chicago partners. And before that? Why weren't you answering calls? Phone died. Lies came easier now. Sorry, honey, won't happen again. You know, I called Mom. Lisa watched me carefully. Wanted to know how the move was going. She wasn't answering either. I felt cold sweat run down my back. She must have been busy. My voice sounded unnatural. There's still a lot of work. Yes, probably. Lisa turned away. By the way, I found Mom's old photographs. Can you believe she was once a model? Just incredible. I choked on my coffee. Really? Never would have thought. Me neither, she was so beautiful. Though she still looks good for her age, don't you think? Yes, I suppose. In the evening, a message came from Sofia. We need to talk. Tomorrow at 2, at the cafe on 5th and Madison. I stared at the phone screen, not knowing how to respond. On one hand, we needed to end this story, put a period on it. On the other, I wasn't sure I wanted that period. Okay, I finally wrote. I'll be there. At night I dreamed of Sofia again. But now they weren't old photographs, but today's memories. Her touches, her scent, her whispers. I woke up sweating. Lisa slept beside me, turned away. So familiar and so foreign at the same time. What am I doing? I whispered into the darkness. But there was no answer. Only the rain outside kept beating its endless rhythm. The cafe on 5th and Madison was almost empty. Sofia sat by the window, nervously stirring her coffee. She gave me a weak smile when she saw me. You look terrible, she noted. Didn't sleep all night. Me neither. We sat in silence. The waitress brought me an espresso. I didn't even touch the cup. Lisa found your photographs, I finally said. I know. I planted them myself in the old box with her childhood things. What? I looked at her in surprise. Why? Because it will be easier this way. Sofia spoke quietly but firmly. When everything comes to light. What? Patrick, do you really think we can keep this secret forever? She laughed bitterly. I know my daughter. She already suspects something. And what do you suggest? I'm selling the house. Moving to Georgia. My brother has been inviting me for a long time. You're running away? I felt a sting of disappointment. No. I'm saving my daughter from a truth that would destroy her. At that moment, the bell above the door chimed. We both turned and froze. Lisa walked into the cafe. Here you are. She approached our table. I've been looking for you. Sofia went pale. I felt my fingers go numb. Will you join us? Sofia tried to smile. No, thank you. Lisa took an envelope from her purse. I just wanted to show you something. She dumped photographs on the table, but not the old ones, with young Sofia. Different ones. Surveillance camera shots. Me entering Sofia's house, leaving the next morning. Dates. Times. Private detective. Lisa explained, noticing our confusion. I hired him a month ago. Something in your behavior, in your looks. I had to know for sure. Lisa, darling. Sofia reached out to her daughter. Don't touch me, Lisa recoiled. You know what's worst? I was actually happy that you finally found common ground. What a fool I was. I'm sorry. I tried to stand. Sit, her voice trembled. I'm not finished. I'm filing for divorce, Patrick. And you know what? You can keep this damn house, the car, everything. I'm taking only my dignity. She turned to her mother. And you're no longer my mother. I hope it was worth it. Lisa turned and left the cafe. The bell chimed. We sat in deafening silence. Sofia cried silently, smearing mascara across her cheeks. What now? I asked, not recognizing my own voice. Now? She laughed hysterically. Now we got what we deserved. Freedom. Isn't that what you dreamed of? I don't know what I dreamed of. But I do. Sofia stood up, putting on her coat. You dreamed of adventure, of passion, of something forbidden and beautiful. Well, you got it. We both did. Are you still going to Georgia? No, she shook her head. I'm going to Paris. Always wanted to live there. Maybe even return to modeling. Mature beauty is in fashion now. She leaned down, lightly kissed my cheek. Goodbye, Patrick. Keep those photographs. They're all you have left now. I watched her leave, still beautiful, proud, unattainable. The waitress brought the bill. Troubles? She asked sympathetically, noticing the photographs on the table. No, I shook my head. Just life. Outside rain was starting. I finished my cold coffee and walked out into the gray autumn day. Emptiness lay ahead, but somehow it no longer frightened me. Did you like this story? Let us know in the comments what you liked. Subscribe to our storytelling podcast. Also, don't forget to like and ring the bell so you don't miss more interesting stories. See you soon.